Hello, welcome to the Love Your Lawn podcast. My name is Loudon Granger, and join me today as we are talking about appreciation, acceptance, and airplanes. For more lessons ranging from life to lawn, be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. Now let's begin. I'm sure you all know this already. Let's talk about it. It's extremely natural to value other people's opinions. Okay? But it can actually become a barrier to our own self-growth and happiness. Let's pretend for a second. Pretend we're preparing for a social event or a social gathering, or even pretend you're preparing for a presentation at school or at work, something where you're going to be on display in front of everyone else. Not only do you have to learn the content, you don't want to mess up the content because you're trying to teach people stuff, but you also don't want to be perceived like weird or be thought of as weird in front of your peers or in front of your people. You end up spending days worrying along this preparation, feeling stressed out, feeling anxious because you don't know what's about to happen in the future. We're anxious for the future. And a quick fact, research shows there is an increased anxiety in America. This mental barrier. 15 million Americans are affected by social anxiety disorder. It's very, very common, so if you have it and if you're dealing with these challenges, you're not alone. But does it have to be that way? To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. And that was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was a 19th century American essayist, poet, and lecturer. He was known for being a leading figure in the transcendentalist movement, in exploring personal growth, self-discovery, and exploring one's own path. Discovering it, one's own path. So very much into individualism and discovering yourself. And he understood that this entire world is trying to change you and shift you. Other people, things like this. And it's not really other people that are doing it. It's you assuming that other people want to do that. So a lot of the time we carry this extra pressure around with us, and it is self-inflicted. It's you doing it. We feel obligated to please others. This is based on the assumption that others care about every single thing that we do. We assume they care about us and everything we do. And then this pressure is even magnified more because of our desire and our need to feel accepted by another person. We're humans. That's a social thing that we crave, is this acceptance. But in all actuality, the other person is probably just worrying about themselves, and whatever opinion that person has on us is very much often a reflection of the biases and ways that they view the world, not actually a representation of who we are and how we are. So, to help relieve some of this natural tendency to worry about what other people's opinions are, we can practice self-compassion. We can practice being kind to ourselves. And we can practice a little bit of self-appreciation as well. Being grateful for who you are and kind of everything that you might have accomplished along the way, because very often we forget some of the things that we've done already, some of the goals we've accomplished, some of the challenges we've overcome. And that's made us who we are. And a lot of the times, once they pass, we forget that that's a little piece of us. So setting goals and focusing on your own journey, what matters to you, your passions, your own achievements. And you might say to me, well, that sounds pretty self-centered. Here's me. I'm kind of just projecting this thought. I'm not saying you're actually saying this, but one could say that. And I will remind you, this is not actually being selfish. Okay? We can take care of our self-growth. When we do this, we can contribute more positively to other people. All right? And I'll explain it like this in a different way. If you're on an airplane, I don't know if you've been on an airplane before. This is a little airplane. It's actually a little space shuttle. I don't have an airplane, but this is a little, we'll pretend this is an airplane. We're all together on this airplane. We're flying around, okay? If something were to happen and we experience some severe turbulence, the oxygen masks would fall down from the ceiling, okay? And before you take off, you're instructed, if the oxygen masks fall down from the ceiling, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help someone else. It doesn't even matter if there's a child sitting next to you. They say put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help anyone else. That's not selfish. That's just proper care. This is the exact same thing with ourselves and how we view other people and how they view us. If I'm worried about everyone else's opinions of me, I'm going to basically be running around the plane trying to put their oxygen masks on for them without doing my own. And eventually, it's not helping myself. And actually, what I've just done is I've starved myself with oxygen. I'm hurting myself. And what's really interesting about this is I didn't want to be selfish. That's why I'm trying to help everyone else. But by starving myself from oxygen, I'm actually hurting the whole. Because I'm not contributing to the whole. I'm not contributing to everyone else. I'm trying to help them, but I'm passed out. How good am I? I have no oxygen. I'm passed out. All right? Now I need someone to help me because I'm unconscious. Had I just put the oxygen mask on myself, I could contribute more to the whole. And that's exactly what society is. So life is just like the airplane. It's a journey. We're all coming together to travel through life together. And yes, we do need each other's help. That's true. We do need each other's help. We're humans. That's what we do. But we also need to help ourselves before we can help other people. And while you're on this flight, I encourage you to spend some time sitting there and reflecting on your principles, your goals, and your values. Take some time to think about the person you are and who you want to become, and then begin to work towards being that person. You guys, this is very challenging to do, by the way. And it definitely takes an element of self-awareness. This is a core human skill. But then it also takes some self-aware or some self-management skills that you will build by doing this over and over again, and responsible decision-making. Lastly, also by being socially aware, you can understand that how other people act towards you is not necessarily based on your actions. It's based on a reflection of their own principles or values or biases, or perhaps the lack of their principles and values. Just a thought. Another tool to practice this concept of reflection, literally, socially, and of self, we like to play this game, kicking it over to Pat to explain it. Take it away, Mr. Pat Fish.
Up next, we have Secret Dancer. The person goes out, they're kind of like the detective role. As they come back in, one person is leading the dance moves. Everyone else is following subtly. Their goal, coming in from the outside, is to guess within 3 guesses. You can lower it to 2 if you need to, if it's a smaller group. Who is the person that is leading all the other dances? I'm sure you've seen plenty of games like this, but using each piece of this game creatively is a really great way to build camaraderie around the group, start finding ways that you can ask questions, play some songs that they've never heard of before, play some old stuff. And well, what is this? Well, you can tell them about it. Oh, well, guess what? You get the DJ next time, so you play a song that I've never heard that I'd actually like, and see what comes out of it. Or maybe you play a song that they're like, my dad listens to this, or my great. Those can start some really great intergenerational conversations, and that's just the music piece of the game.
All right, we all want to stand up.
Is there a time, or do you all just...
We'll just let you back in. Who's gonna... Have Nolan do it because
No, that's good. Now he'll think it's good.
We messed this up so many times.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, so who's doing it?
Yeah, Nolan, go.
Okay.
If you or a friend want to send us an activator that you came up with for a chance to be featured on this show and perhaps have kids all around America play it, then be sure to send us a video of you playing your activator and explaining how your activator works to the email in the description below, and you might see yours on an episode of Love Your Lawn. Now that we have completed our activator portion of the show, we can get right into our circle weaving portion of the show, and today's topic is closing a circle with appreciation and gratitude. Wow, sick. So, as a weaver, it's very important, we've found, to power down your circle on a note of gratitude and appreciation. Something that everyone as individuals is thankful for. Someone that everyone is thankful for. And specifically, somebody from your circle. Okay? So ending on a note of gratitude really puts into perspective some of the things and people we are grateful for in life. And depending on your circle community, there are a few ways that you can do this. You can approach this concept very much black and white and very much matter of fact. You can pose the question of maybe name someone or say someone or shout out someone that you are grateful for in this circle and tell us why. Okay? And honestly, if you have a really close bond and everyone's really open with each other, and they're close with each other, this might be perfect. That might be all you need to say. But if you want to use some other tactics and kind of style this question maybe for a group of 7th graders, where you can basically kind of not trick them, but basically disguise this question a different way, you can use a different tactic, such as the zombie apocalypse question. And what this would be, you set it up like, oh, I heard there's zombies here. I came in. You know, you can play with them a little bit. There's zombies in the parking lot, and the zombie apocalypse has begun. And what your question's going to be is, who would you take with you in the zombie apocalypse from this circle, and tell us why? And all that does is, once they answer that question, what they're really doing is telling you who they are grateful for having in their life that's from our circle, and they're telling you what they appreciate about that individual. And they're not blatantly outright saying this, so they feel a little more comfortable to play pretend and play zombies. It's kind of trickery, but it's really just a way to disguise this question, because some people aren't ready to say, oh, I appreciate you, I'm very grateful for you. And that's understandable. I think I was that way one time, and sometimes I am that way now still, depending on who I'm around. This is true, and I'm sure most people watching this are. And I think that's natural as well. But this is a great way to kind of get around this. This is something that you as the weaver can use while you're in circle with people who might not be super blatantly open to gratitude. And remember, it's important to end on something you're grateful for, because it puts everything into this perspective of we have each other, we're thankful for each other, and we appreciate each other. We're celebrating everyone's individual strengths. Because what some person values in the zombie apocalypse might not be what my neighbor values. My neighbor might want someone who's really good at tinkering with building things, and I might want something that's someone who's really good at physical exertion. Maybe they're really fast and they can retrieve me things fast. And basically, when I'm doing this, we're highlighting both the people we appreciate and who we're thankful for. We're highlighting different elements of the human being, the different possibilities, and we're celebrating everyone's individual strengths. And if someone chooses you as their zombie buddy, it feels good no matter what age you are at. Just think back to a time in your life when you've gotten shouted out or someone's kind of like said something like this, given you some kind of praise or something. It really makes you feel good. It really just kind of makes you smile on the inside, and you feel appreciated. You feel accepted, and you definitely feel acknowledged. And when we're trying to build this community, this bond across people in our circles, being accepted, acknowledged, and appreciated are all incredible things to help foster this bond. So that is why we like to end our circles. Every circle we do, we close this circle, we power this thing down with some gratitude and some appreciation. And that will close the circle for us today. In other news, we're going to talk with our friend, Traveling Joe, who was in school today. Let's go ahead and give him a call and see what's new with the news. Let's get a hold of Joe. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on? Oh, it's going amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're just doing the news segment here for the Love Your Lawn, and I figured I'd give you a call. How's things going? Where are you today?
Well, right now I'm in Hamburg, but it's near Silver Creek, which is the school that I was at today, all the way out past Buffalo.
Oh, wow, dude. That's wild. How did it go out there today?
It was good, man. It was awesome. It's testing season, and the middle schoolers I'm working with this Braves program right now, they're just there's so much going on, and so I only had 4 out of the 7 come today, but they're just making the effort, man, because they realize that it's something important for these younger students. So even though they're stressed out of their mind and trying to get all this other stuff done, they're deciding to come down and take an hour out of their day to hang out with these kindergartners. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's awesome. And the kindergartners, they must love it, huh?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So what week are you in right now?
This was the 4th visit, but I got a double back-to-back. So tomorrow I'll go for my 5th visit, and then next week will be the last week. So.
Awesome. Do you have any special challenges you did today with the students that went down with you?
I think the challenge today, man, was to not be stressed. That was the challenge, and I even kind of like took the pressure off of doing. Usually we do like the little skits, bully drills at the end. We show them off, and I just said, hey, listen, today, just have some fun. Practice the bully drills with them. We're not going to show them off. There's no stress today. We're just going to have a good time. So that really the challenge was to get the older students to have a little bit more fun, because these are like their leaders, and they all want to get good grades and do good in their classes, which is an awesome thing. But sometimes it can be a little much for them,
Yeah.
And so that was the challenge today. Hey, don't stress. Let's just have some fun. And they did a good job doing it.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. That's kind of what we're talking about here on the podcast today, is just kind of like that anxiety and that stress that, we kind of have. We're trying to get something or worried about what other people think of us, and it kind of actually restricts us a little bit, instead of just being free to grow. So.
Yeah, no, it's 100%, man, because that's where these students are, and that's where so many students are, right? They're so stressed out because there's so many different things to think about, to do, to accomplish, I think when we can just take a quick little step back, take a breath, and have some fun with some kindergartners, who may not have the same amount of stress, that we have. It can kind of can be a little bit of a reset and a good thing.
That's huge, man. Well, I appreciate you letting me call you, and good luck tomorrow. Have fun. Thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate it, Loudon. Peace, man.
All right, peace out. See ya.
All right, bye.
Wow. What a cool dude. What a cool dude. Well, there you have it. Maybe you will see Mr. Traveling Joe at a school near you. If you want your school to be featured on the Love Your Lawn podcast, be sure to send us an email and shed some light at what's going on at your school. Our email is in the description below. And remember, loving your life starts by loving your lawn.